Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 18 of the Riot and Chill podcast on the Riot and Chill network. I am Emperor. I will be solo running today and want to welcome you on in. Slated discussion today. We're talking LEC, LCS, Fantasy League, as well as anything going on with the games, talking about the undefeated teams a little bit and some upcoming games to watch out for. A few signings on the major regions. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into it with our first segment, which is LEC and LCS fantasy. So some happy people, some not very happy people. The result for the LCS, Vicky jumps out to a 1-0 start. She defeats me by a massive 1.21 points. Star player of the final day tactical on the last day, scoring 35 points and securing Vicky the victory. Trent continues his regular season domination as he defeats Tyler in what was the biggest margin in the league for week 1. So congrats to Vicky and to Trent for starting off 1-0 in the LCS. However, in the LEC, we got the tables turned as me and Tyler in our no stakes league. Me and Tyler jump out to a 1-0 start as next week, well, technically this week coming up, it'll be me versus Vicky and Tyler versus Trent before the week 3 clash between me and Tyler and Vicky and Trent. So everybody's got a reason to be happy about something. We've all won in one league or another, so looking forward to a week to the next set of games. So in week 2 for the LCS, I will be playing Trent, and Vicky and Tyler will be playing the other two individuals in our league. So one player dropped out, so it's basically just going to be auto picks for him the rest of the way through. It doesn't even have a team name, just known as Team 5, so that's what we'll refer to him as now, just Team 5. And also in the LCS fantasy news, Vicky drops tactical, is jumping on the CLG hype train, picking up Loosier. So it'll be interesting to see if CLG can continue their big run. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. Right now, between the 4 major regions, there are 10 undefeated teams left. For North America, we got Evil Geniuses, Team Liquid, and surprisingly, CLG. Rounding out the top of the table in North America. In Europe, one team stood the week 1 onslaught, and that was G2. I don't think anybody's really surprised that G2 managed to come out unscathed. But over in the LPL, JD Gaming, Victory 5, LNG, and RNG are all 4 currently undefeated in the LPL. And over on the LCK, T1 and Gen G, along with DRX, are the undefeated teams in the LCK. Now, I think as far as EG goes, G2, V5, LNG, RNG, and T1, maybe even Gen G, and no one's really super surprised about them being undefeated. But it's good to see that the off-season slump hasn't hit some of the top teams in the world, so maybe we'll see some consistency in the World Championship, because we have seen a lot of teams who have qualified for MSI not make Worlds, so maybe we'll finally see a little bit of consistency. On to the news about signing Summit, who was he's actually the reigning LCS MVP, has joined the LPL and will be joining Fun Plus Phoenix, who is just in a complete disarray right now. They are not they're not doing too hot, so hopefully they can right the ship and get things going soon. Summit is a phenomenal topside player. He can hard carry your games if given the right situation, as long as, you know, teams don't send the whole team in the kitchen sink and everybody at him. he should be able to carry some FPX games, maybe get them in a lower seed position for the playoffs would be ideal for them. Also joining the LPL, or not joining the LPL, but playing on a new team in the LPL is Icon. And now Icon was the mid laner for LNG, who made it to Worlds, made it out of the groups. However, they did fall very early in the knockout stage. Did not play the spring split and was signed to Bilibili Gaming. Bilibili, another one of those teams who are not really doing so hot right now. So of course, whenever you have a losing record, you tend to try to throw something at the wall just to see if it sticks. Now, FPX, I don't think they won a series yet. I'm pretty sure FPX, let me double check just to be 100% sure. They are all the way at the very bottom. They are, yeah, I was correct. They are 0-4 in the league, and Bilibili Gaming not far behind, only at 1-3 right now. So we'll see if the addition of Summit to FPX and Icon to Bilibili will be enough to kind of boost these teams up the standings a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see. But this weekend, we got some fantastic games coming in for the LCS and the LEC. Two big games to watch are CLG versus Evil Geniuses Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And over in the LEC, also on Saturday, it'll be Vitality versus G2 Esports. Another matchup between Caps versus Perks. How can you not love that? That'll be Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So I guess it's now time to do predictions. I'm gonna have to get their predictions off screen, but we'll go ahead and give our predictions for the Saturday and Sunday games. Remember, week 1 was the super week, just as the very last week will be super week as well. So now we're back to the standard 2 days, as we start off the day with Team Dignitas versus Cloud9. Now Sven is there. However, he has stated in an interview with Travis Gafford he has not even practiced with the team, and solo queue is not exactly the most ideal place to practice for an LCS professional game. So Dignitas and Cloud9, Dignitas has been really just stinking up the joint like crazy. I do see Cloud9 getting their very first win here. Following that game is going to be Evil Geniuses. I'm sorry, not Evil Geniuses. I already said that. 100 Thieves versus Golden Guardians. Now, I do see... I don't see Golden Guardians keeping up their decent level of play. I think 100 Thieves are just vastly superior all around. So I do think 100 Thieves win this game handily. Now, TSM versus Liquid. We have seen a little bit of spark of brilliance from Maple in one of the games, but can he hold up to Bjergsen? Also, Tactical, who looked very good for the most part in the last game on Sunday, wherever they played. I believe they played Immortals. I think it was Immortals. Not a big sample size there because Immortals, a very, very underperforming team, but we will talk about them. I still, just much like 100 Thieves versus Golden Guardians, I think Team Liquid has a vastly superior team in every role. So I do think TL wins that game pretty handily. Now on to what I think is going to be the ugliest game in League of Legends this year. Evil Geniuses versus Immortals. You have a team who is sky high, coming off of a top 4 finish at MSI, to playing one of the worst teams in the LCS. By record, of course, they do have a win, but I don't think that holds up well enough. I do think Evil Geniuses absolutely smashes them. It will not be a perfect game, but I think it is just going to be an annihilation. I don't have Immortals standing a chance in this game. And then a match that's very interesting to me, you have FlyQuest versus CLG. FlyQuest, I think a team everybody considered maybe a top 5 team, maybe be bold enough to slide them into a top 4. Underperforming, of course they are. CLG, a team that I believe everybody can agree on are overperforming. Now, granted, CLG has played Team Dignitas, they played TSM, and then they played Golden Guardians. Not the toughest of opponents. Now they're going to be going into this weekend. They are playing FlyQuest, and then they will play Evil Geniuses. So this will be a true test if CLG is a legit contender, or did they just favor off of an early season schedule. I am going to go with the latter here, and I'm actually picking FlyQuest over CLG. Palafox is somebody who not a lot of people know because he's not Bjergsen, he's not Abadage, he's not Jensen, he's not a super high household name. But now there's Takuli, but I do think Takuli gets the better of that matchup, and I think he could snowball the game into FlyQuest's favor. I do have FlyQuest winning this game, so Cloud9, 100 Thieves, Liquid, Evil Geniuses, and FlyQuest for the Saturday games. Again, I will have to get everybody else's predictions on the games before they start tomorrow. So Sunday's games, we have a couple interesting ones as we start off the day 3:30 p.m. Eastern time with Golden Guardians versus TSM. I think TSM could win this game. Again, Golden Guardians have seemed very lackluster to me. I don't see a world where Golden Guardians, makes a big playoff push. But however, I'm not really seeing that with TSM, but I do think Maple is the wild card in this situation. That could possibly bring TSM into playoffs. I do have TSM winning this game. I think it's going to be a mid gap. Maple is just ramping up now. Of course, first couple games, you can't really give him too much flack. It's a new environment. It's a new region he's playing in, new time zones. It's going to take a little bit to get acclimated. It's like trying to get up and go to Korea and try to, play solo queue on them with no practice or anything like that. It's going to take a little bit of time to get used to, but I do think TSM will be on the upward trajectory, at least in this game. Liquid versus FlyQuest. Now, I do actually have this as a trap game because FlyQuest is not a bad team. Underperforming, yes. Bad team, no. Team Liquid has looked like an absolute powerhouse on everybody that they've gone against. I did predict C9 winning last week I did it for the storyline. I don't see a storyline in this one, so we're going Team Liquid. Not a super stomp, but it's not going to be a super close game. I think TL probably ends it at about 30 minutes. Probably ends with about a 7k gold lead. Now, this is a very interesting game. Cloud9 versus 100 Thieves. I do have Cloud9 winning the Saturday game. Are they good enough to beat 100 Thieves? That, I don't know. Because when you look at 100 Thieves, their only loss was to Evil Geniuses, but Evil Geniuses are just such a crazy good NA team. Now, it was kind of a stomp when they played EG. They lost by 10k gold lead, 10 towers to 2, so they really didn't get their footing off. Inspired was just absolutely insane on the Viego, so it was a new meta, it's a new patch, people trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. But I do have 100 Thieves winning this game. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what maybe their records, than what they have. I don't know where I'm going with this. Okay, so 100 Thieves beat Cloud9. It's going to be a close game. And then we close out the day with what possibly could be 2 undefeated teams in CLG and Evil Geniuses. I always love these kind of matchups where you kind of pit the best against the best. Regardless, even if CLG loses, loses on Saturday, they'll still be sitting at 3-1, so they'll still be, a top tier team. One loss is not going to ruin that. However, I do think that they're going to add a second loss. I'm picking an 0-2 week for CLG. Evil Geniuses take this game and remain undefeated and will be the only undefeated team beside Liquid in the LCS. So interesting there. And there's been a couple articles I've been reading on. What's been kind of nuts is watching Team Liquid. Now, everybody expects with this Team Liquid roster, you have to think that they're a favorite to win it. the first 3 games, they had a total of 6 deaths. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if we're playing solo queue, we're probably dying more than 6 times just on our own. You know, so it's no surprise right now that the lowest deaths, well, 5 out of the 6 lowest deaths belong to Team Liquid. It's no surprise, I don't think, at all. KDAs, I mean, do we really have to go there? Of course we do. Of course we have to go there. Team Liquid rounding the top of the KDAs with some ridiculous numbers. Bjergsen sporting a 31 KDA leading the league, followed by Bwippo at 29, Santorin 25, Core JJ 16.5, and the feeding Hans Sama sitting at 15. And it's also no surprise that one of the top 5 lowest KDAs belong to some of the bottom performing teams. Gamsu coming in only at a 0.4 KDA, Neo a 0.6, River a 0.8, Blue at a 1, and Biofrost at a 1. So you know when you're in trouble when your highest KDA on your team is a 1. So interesting to see how teams are going to be bringing this around coming into the second week. Was it maybe just some jitters? Was it maybe just some, you know, bad luck and the draw of the schedule? I don't know. No one knows, but we're going to find out this weekend. But I wanted to thank you guys for checking out the podcast today. Socials for all of us will be in the description below. Feel free to sub, share, hit that notification bell whenever we upload some more content. We got some content in the works coming, and we're very excited to share it with you guys. So on behalf of Crutonic, Mr. Ramen, Shoeless, and myself, we will see you next time on the Riot and Chill podcast.